since we were looking at your stick figure drawings, the whole poster controversy. I noticed that you have them on your website. I guess Canadians are cool enough to use that
put the original poster up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, in the States, we couldn't get that poster approved, but in Canada, they were like, we could totally use it.
Yeah.
So down here, we were kind of every poster we submitted, they kicked back as being too salacious. So we finally resorted to stick figures, the most innocuous image we could to sell the movie. And it looked like it was working, and then all of a sudden people started complaining about the stick figure poster as well. It was insane.
And you continually have problems with the MPAA. And you
Yeah.
had to actually force them to...
This one I actually kind of understand. Like Clerks, they gave us an NC-17 on Clerks, and we were able to argue it down without having to cut. Jersey Girl, they gave us an R, which was perplexing. We could argue that. We argued it down to a PG-13 without making any cuts. This movie, when they said you got an NC-17, I was like, well, that makes sense. You know, I knew they'd go after this one. It's got porno in the title. But that we were able to successfully argue it down without having to cut anything, that was a huge victory.
Born, raised, and still in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I know you filmed there before. Dogma.
Yeah, I was back there 10 years earlier.
Yeah. What is it about Pittsburgh that makes it enticing to film there?
You know, they've got a wonderful crew base. Like the crew that we worked with on Dogma, a lot of them came back for Zack and Miri 10 years later, and we all looked fatter. Or I did. And they kept telling me that. They're like, well, you got fat. I'm like, what about you? They're like, we just got old. A fantastic crew base. It offers a lot of different looks, but we needed one look for this. We just wanted dead winter, and boy, did that pan out for us in spades. But it's a great, great town, man. I mean, just God forbid you want to go get something to eat at 7 o'clock at night in the city because everything closes.
For Manny Brothers.
Yeah, well, there's that. But, you know, how many times can you eat a sandwich that's got some coleslaw on it? You know, it's like, I look like this after a winter full of Permane Brothers sandwiches. Because we'd wrap and we'd be like, where are we going to eat? And there's only one place to eat. It was Permane Brothers, and all I would do is eat cheese fries and sandwiches this thick with a bunch of French fries on them.
And you said the word dead, and when I think of dead and Monroeville, I think of zombies. Yes. Did you go to the mall?
We shot in the mall. The sequence in the movie in the mall, that's the Monroeville Mall.
Yeah.
So we shot in the Dawn of the Dead Mall. Yeah, it was nice. And it was cool because Tom Savini shows up in the flick, so there's an even closer attachment to the Dead movies. And you can't be in Monroe. I mean, we set the movie in Monroeville. You cannot be in Monroeville and not reference Dawn of the Dead.
Right, and you shot at the Civic Arena, too. Mm-hmm. They accommodating to you down there?
They were really wonderful. The NHL, as you might imagine, when they first heard the title of the movie, were like, pass. But Jason Reitman, the director of Juno, is in tight with the NHL folks. I think he's on one of their boards. And he said, look, read the script. It's not what you think it is. Let these dudes do what they want to do. So we were able to feature, some Penguin stuff and shoot right at the igloo.
It's not the. I was going to say it's not the Civic Arena. It shows you how old I am.
Yeah, it's the igloo, but it won't be around for much longer either.
They're
saying. So I was kind of glad we got that in.
Yeah. Okay. Was the frosting the cake scene actually necessary?
It depends if you ask. My mother would say no. I say yeah. I really wasn't sold on how necessary it was. I mean, the shot is so unbelievably short. It's not even a second. A second of film is 24 frames. That shot in question is 14 frames. I wasn't sold on it until we test screened it, and then I watched 300 people go like this at once and laugh for the next 2 minutes, and then I was like, we got to keep it now. Everyone loves it.
Is one of your goals in life to prove that Jason is an on-screen presence?
Yeah. Basically, I've fulfilled my goal in life, which was to get every inch of Jason's flesh onto the screen, and we finally accomplished that in this movie. He does come out, and I mean, it's a shame that he's engaged because I think it's a good commercial for Jason Mewes. Stepping out of that door, women are just like, who knew?
Absolute pleasure.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.